So did straight up, did Ezekiel see a UFO? Because that's what you hear all the time, like aliens in the Bible, ancient aliens, and they'll point to Ezekiel. What in the world is going on with wheels within wheels and creatures covered with eyes and just...
So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but I'll start by saying this. I don't think that's UFOs. What I'll say is that I think it's actually pretty similar to other scenes that we have where people come into the presence of God. Mm-hmm. It's just that Ezekiel does it with image on top of an image, on top of an image, on top of an image, on top of an image. Right. And so part of what we get in Ezekiel 1, when this happens, is I kind of think of it as coming into the presence of God undoes Ezekiel. Mm. So as he tries to describe what this undoing is, he has to try every single picture he can think of. And in doing so, he picks up on common images from his time period, things like the sort of chariot imagery of the sort of storm god, the cloud god in the clouds, and like his wheels. But then his wheels can see the whole world, and so they have eyes on them. The circles and wheels and wheels. You get this imagery also of he keeps saying it's like this, but no, it's like this. And yes, it's like this and also like this. And you think about moments in your life where you have experienced something that goes beyond your ability to use words to describe it. And often you end up saying, well, it was kind of like this.
Right.
But it was also kind of like this. And it was also kind of like this. And I think that one thing that's interesting in Ezekiel is that all of that imagery actually connects to all of our senses. So one of the things I do in class is we actually go through Ezekiel 1 and we look for every kind of sense. So where is their hearing? Where is there something I might touch? Where is their taste? Where is their, what I see? How are each of those things drawing me into this moment that Ezekiel can't put words to, but he has to put all the words to?
Right.
And so in some ways it's so many images and so many sounds that it tries to recreate that almost that ecstatic experience with all the ways that you could try to talk about it all on top of each other. And that's why it gets complicated, because the images are all stacked. One on top of another on top of another. And some of the images go back all the way to the Exodus story, to Numbers, to kind of, so some of it's like, there's like the sort of fire and cloud imagery.
Right.
Some of it goes to some of the like water imagery. So it's a combination. It's not really trying to tell us, hey, he saw aliens. Right. More like, hey, he saw something that's really hard for him to put into words.
Yeah.
And so try to come with him, like join him,
right,
to try and experience this.
Yeah. It's very similar to, well, and it paves the way for how we approach Revelation in the New Testament. I mean, Revelation draws so heavily from Ezekiel. And while Ezekiel, I don't think literarily it would be classified as apocalyptic, it seems it's setting the stage, I think, for what would become apocalyptic in many ways. Especially with its imagery. But there's when people read it as aliens, I'm always like, okay, time out. Like, read the whole chapter. It says pretty clearly, this is a vision of the glory of God and the glory of God leaving the temple, like going away. And that's the key, not the living creatures with eyes all over them and wheels within wheels. And